Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today, we will learn about the chilling investigation into Anna Devane's sudden vanishing act that has the entire Port Charles community on edge. As whispers of foul play spread like wildfire through the cobblestone streets of this dramatic town, one key figure stands out as the most likely to dive headfirst into the shadows, chasing down every cryptic clue left by a ruthless abductor. This isn't just another twist in the endless saga of secrets and betrayals. It's a high-stakes thriller where loyalty, deception, and hidden agendas collide, pulling viewers deeper into the vortex of suspense that defines General Hospital. The nightmare begins in the most ordinary of settings, transforming Anna's routine drive into a heart-pounding ambush. Picture this: the former super spy, ever vigilant, slips behind the wheel of her sleek black sedan under the dim glow of streetlights, unaware that danger lurks just inches away in the shadows of her backseat. In a flash from the upcoming week's preview footage, dated November 3rd to 7th, an unseen assailant strikes with chilling precision, pressing a chloroform-soaked cloth over her mouth as she gasps in shock. Her hands claw at the air, eyes widening in realization too late, before her body goes limp against the leather seats. This brazen attack isn't random. It's a calculated move by someone with intimate knowledge of Anna's routines, perhaps a ghost from her espionage past resurfacing to settle old scores. As her vehicle swerves to a halt on a deserted roadside, the kidnapper drags her unconscious form into the night, leaving behind only the faint scent of chemicals and a single, ominous glove as evidence. General Hospital insiders tease that this peril isn't fleeting. Anna awakens in a fortified lair, wrists bound and surrounded by relics from forgotten missions, her mind racing to piece together the motives of her captor. The stakes skyrocket as we speculate on the abductor's identity. Could it be a vengeful associate of the long-deceased Caesar Faison, driven by unfinished business from his infamous schemes? Or perhaps a new player, manipulated by lingering files from Faison's final, enigmatic project, a blueprint for chaos that Anna has been quietly unraveling for months? With Anna now ensnared in this web of danger, the ripple effects hit her inner circle like a tidal wave, igniting a frenzy of worry and frantic searches. Her disappearance sends shockwaves through Port Charles, where friends and family pace hospital corridors and dimly lit diners, phones clutched in white-knuckled grips, awaiting any sign of the resilient agent. The preview hints at a masterful ploy by the kidnapper to cover their tracks, snatching Anna's phone from her pocket and firing off a series of innocuous texts to her closest allies. Emergency at the office will be out of touch for a bit. One message might read to Valentine Casadini, her on-again, off-again confidant, while another to Robert Scorpio assures him she's tied up in a confidential op. These digital deceptions are crafted with eerie accuracy, mimicking Anna's terse style to buy precious hours or even days of false security. Imagine the confusion. Valentine dismisses it as typical spy secrecy, burying his unease in a glass of scotch, while Robert, ever the skeptic, feels a nagging pull, but chalks it up to her independent streak. Yet, this smokescreen serves a darker purpose, potentially derailing any immediate rescue efforts and allowing the abductor to transport Anna to a remote hideout, perhaps an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town, echoing the gritty underbelly of Port Charles criminal history. Spoilers suggest this ruse could extend further, with fabricated emails or voice-altered calls planting seeds of doubt, making authorities question if Anna vanished willingly or stumbled into a trap of her own making. The emotional toll is palpable. Loved ones grapple with guilt, replaying their last conversations, wondering if overlooked warnings could have prevented this catastrophe. But amid the haze of misinformation, one sharp-minded investigator refuses to swallow the bait, her instincts screaming that something far more sinister is afoot. Enter Felicia Scorpio, the vivacious private eye whose bond with Anna runs deeper than most, forged in the fires of shared adventures and mutual respect for each other's unyielding pursuit of justice. Felicia, with her keen eye for inconsistencies and a network of underground contacts spanning from the docks to the elite penthouses, picks up on the red flags almost immediately. The oddly phrased texts, the lack of Anna's signature follow-up call, the eerie silence that blankets her usual haunts. In a pivotal scene teased by GH writers, Felicia pores over these messages in her cluttered office, her brow furrowed as she cross-references timestamps with Anna's known schedule, uncovering subtle glitches like a wrong emoji or an uncharacteristic abbreviation that no true friend would miss. This isn't mere paranoia. Felicia's history with high-profile cases, including tangles with the Casa Dini empire, has honed her ability to sniff out fabrications. Spoilers confirm she'll launch a solo probe, starting with a tense drive to Anna's last known location, where she discovers scuff marks on the pavement and a discarded coffee cup, tiny breadcrumbs leading toward a conspiracy tied to Anna's obsessive hunt for truths buried in Caesar Fazen's legacy. Delving deeper into Felicia's motivations reveals layers of personal stakes that propel her forward, undeterred by the risks. Their friendship, blossoming over late-night stakeouts and heartfelt confessions about lost loves and family fractures, positions Felicia as Anna's unofficial guardian in moments like these. Anna's recent fixation on Fazen's final project, a shadowy initiative involving encrypted data drives and international smugglers, has already placed her in the crosshairs. And Felicia knows it all too well from whispered warnings exchanged over glasses of wine. As Felicia follows the trail, she uncovers fresh leads. A blurry security cam footage showing a suspicious van near Anna's car, or a tip from a dockside informant about hushed dealings in rare artifacts linked to Fazen's old network. But danger lurks for Felicia too. Venturing into this territory might expose her to the same threats, like a midnight tailing that turns into a narrow escape from masked pursuers. Inventing a new twist. Perhaps Felicia stumbles upon a hidden safe in Anna's apartment containing coded notes about Fazen's project, a bioweapon prototype, or a financial empire meant to fund global unrest, escalating the plot into international intrigue. Her determination shines as she vows silently to Anna's empty chair, "I'll bring you home, no matter the cost," blending fierce loyalty with the raw vulnerability that makes these characters so compelling. As Felicia's quest intensifies, alliances form and fractures deepen, drawing in familiar faces who could tip the scales toward rescue or catastrophe. Will she enlist Jason Morgan, the stoic enforcer whose street smarts and unwavering code make him a perfect partner for gritty fieldwork? Jason, fresh from his own entanglements with the mob, might provide muscle and intel on underground transport routes, their collaboration sparking tense banter laced with mutual respect. Alternatively, Felicia could turn to Max Scorpio, her ex-husband and police commissioner, whose official resources clash with her rogue methods, creating friction that mirrors the show's timeless family dynamics. Picture a clandestine meeting in a rainy alley, where Felicia pleads her case. This isn't just missing, it's a setup, Mac, and Anna's life hangs by a thread. How far will Felicia push? Spoilers tease she'll go to extremes, hacking into secure databases or confronting shady figures in dimly lit bars. Each step unraveling more about the abductor's endgame, perhaps a plot to frame Anna for Fazen's resurrection of old crimes. New elements emerge. Felicia discovers a forged document implicating Anna in espionage gone wrong, forcing her to question loyalties even among allies. The emotional core pulses with Felicia's internal monologue, haunted by memories of past failures to save friends, fueling her resolve amid mounting perils like a near-miss car chase or a poison tip that nearly costs her everything. In the end, this unfolding drama promises bombshell revelations that will redefine alliances and expose long-buried secrets in Port Charles. Felicia's investigation doesn't just seek Anna, it unearths the rotten core of Fazen's enduring shadow, potentially linking to broader threats like a syndicate aiming to destabilize the town. As the week progresses, viewers brace for shocking updates: Anna's desperate escape attempt, a betrayal from an unexpected quarter, or Felicia's breakthrough that shatters the deception. Stay tuned to General Hospital for these edge-of-your-seat developments, where every shadow hides a clue and trust is the ultimate casualty. What twists await? Only time and Felicia's relentless pursuit will tell. Next, we will learn about the chilling revelations that could spell doom for one of Port Charles' most scheming residents. In the shadowy underbelly of Port Charles, where alliances shift like sand dunes and betrayals lurk around every corner, the latest General Hospital spoilers are pointing toward a gruesome discovery that might rock the town to its core. Fans have been on the edge of their seats since the dramatic events of the November 4th episode, where loyalties were tested and dark intentions came to light, hinting that a lifeless body could soon surface, courtesy of the ruthless Jen Sidwell. Sidwell, the enigmatic figure pulling strings from the shadows, appears poised to eliminate yet another obstacle in his path. And the prime suspect for his next victim is none other than the bumbling Professor Henry Hank Dalton. This isn't just idle gossip, it's a ticking time bomb in the intricate web of corporate espionage and personal vendettas that defines the show's gripping narrative. Let's delve deeper into the betrayal that ignited this powder keg. During a tense confrontation in the episode, Britt Westburn, ever the sharp-witted opportunist with a history of navigating treacherous waters, recall her own brushes with mortality from past health scares decided to expose Dalton's duplicitous nature. To Sidwell, she relayed how the professor, in a desperate bid for self-preservation, had floated a sneaky proposal to her, sidelined Sidwell entirely, and split the lucrative profits from their clandestine project with her once they pitched it to a rival investor. This revelation didn't provoke outright rage from Sidwell. Instead, a sly amusement flickered across his face, masking the cold calculation beneath. After all, Sidwell has long grown weary of Dalton's glacial pace and repeated failures, viewing him as little more than an expendable pawn in a high-stakes game of innovation and greed. To add layers to this dynamic, imagine Sidwell's backstory, perhaps a former tech mogul ousted from Silicon Valley for ruthless tactics fueling his intolerance for weakness, making Dalton slip up a fatal miscalculation. Britt's sudden rise in Sidwell's organization only underscores Dalton's shortcomings. Promoted swiftly amid the professor's string of botched experiments and missed deadlines, Britt has proven herself a valuable asset, blending her medical expertise from her days at General Hospital with a cunning edge honed by years of family feuds involving the likes of her mother, Lisa Lobrecht. Sidwell, recognizing her potential, issued a direct command: play along with Dalton's overture, infiltrate his circle as a double agent, and report back on every whisper of progress or deceit. Her mission is crystal clear: determine if Dalton's pitch was mere bluster to impress her, or if he's genuinely secured an interested party, perhaps a shadowy venture capitalist from out of town eager to disrupt Port Charles' fragile economy. This espionage twist adds thrilling tension, as Britt must balance her loyalty to Sidwell while dodging suspicions from Dalton, who might uncover her ruse through overlooked clues, like a misplaced email or an overheard phone call. Yet, Sidwell's patience is legendary only in its brevity. He has zero tolerance for those who cross him, especially traitors whose incompetence jeopardizes his grand visions. Picture the scene: Dalton, oblivious to the noose tightening around his neck, continues his futile tinkering in a dimly lit lab cluttered with half-finished prototypes and scribbled notes on revolutionary tech that could revolutionize or destroy the town's power structures. If his disloyalty persists, survival seems improbable. In fact, this single act of rebellion might have already signed his death warrant, echoing the fates of countless others who've underestimated Sidwell's reach. Sidwell's track record speaks volumes. Remember how he orchestrated the demise of Judge Eva Heron, leaving her body adrift in the murky waters of the harbor. A silent warning to anyone daring to challenge him. That chilling event not only eliminated a judicial roadblock in his plans, but also sent ripples of fear through the community. With young Rocco Falconeri and Danny Morgan stumbling upon her corpse under the moonlight, their innocent fishing trip turning into a nightmare that haunts their dreams. As the plot thickens, younger characters are inexorably drawn into this vortex of danger, amplifying the stakes for everyone involved. Rocco, the resilient son of Dante Falconeri, has already brushed too close to the flames. His earlier botched attempt to swipe Britt's key fob from her bag during a crowded event at the Metro Court led to an awkward collision with Sidwell himself, who eyed the boy with predatory interest. This mishap positions Rocco as an unwitting key player, potentially stumbling upon Dalton's lifeless form in an abandoned warehouse or fog-shrouded dockside. His wide-eyed shock captured in a moment that could redefine his coming-of-age arc. Enter Emma Scorpio Drake, Rocco's sharp-tongued peer with a legacy of intrigue from her parents' spy-laden past, who might immediately suspect Britt's involvement upon the discovery, weaving accusations that strain their budding friendship. Rocco, fiercely loyal and intuitive beyond his years, could counter with pleas for another explanation, perhaps pointing to Sidwell's enforcers or even an inside job by Dalton's own disgruntled assistant, sparking a mini-investigation among the teens that uncovers hidden alliances and buried secrets. Sidwell's empire, built on a foundation of innovation laced with menace, thrives on eliminating problems before they metastasize. Envision him in his sleek penthouse office overlooking the glittering skyline of Port Charles, sipping a rare scotch as he contemplates Dalton's fate, his mind racing through scenarios: a staged accident in the lab, a plunge from a high-rise scaffold, or something more personal, like a poisoned chalice during a feigned reconciliation meeting. The professor's betrayal isn't isolated, it's symptomatic of the rot Sidwell despises, reminding viewers of past arcs where corporate greed clashed with moral compasses, such as the Casadini family's tech dominations or ELQ's boardroom battles. If Dalton meets his end, it won't be swift or merciful. Sidwell favors spectacles that serve as deterrents, ensuring whispers of his ruthlessness spread like wildfire through the hospital corridors and police precinct. Meanwhile, Britt grapples with the moral tightrope she's walking, her promotion a double-edged sword that isolates her from old allies like her ex-colleagues at GH. As she feeds intel back to Sidwell, she might uncover deeper layers to Dalton's scheme, such as forged documents linking the project to international smugglers, or even ties to long-lost Port Charles figures thought deceased. This could force Britt to improvise, perhaps allying temporarily with Rocco and Emma to expose a larger conspiracy, blending her survival instincts with a flicker of redemption. The fallout from Dalton's potential demise would reverberate. Dante Falconeri ramps up investigations, Sonny Corinthos eyes business threats, and the Scorpio Drakes pull strings from afar, turning this into a multi-generational saga. Rocco's entanglement adds a poignant layer, humanizing the high-stakes drama with youthful vulnerability. After his key fob fiasco, which stemmed from a dare among friends to uncover adult secrets, he's now marked, with Sidwell possibly viewing him as leverage against Danny's probing. Imagine a tense sequence where Rocco confides in his father, only for Dante to dismiss it as kid stuff until Dalton's body turns up, validating the boy's fears and thrusting him into protective custody amid escalating threats. Emma's role evolves too. Her quick mind, inherited from Robin's intellect, could lead to decoding Dalton's encrypted files, revealing Sidwell's endgame, a device that manipulates minds or erases memories, tying into GH's sci-fi roots. As Sidwell plots his next move, the air in Port Charles grows thicker with anticipation. Spoilers tease that another fatal command could issue forth imminently. With Dalton's clock ticking louder by the minute, will Britt's spying seal his doom? Or does an unexpected twist spare him? The involvement of innocents like Rocco heightens the peril, suggesting collateral damage in Sidwell's quest for dominance. Viewers, brace yourselves. This storyline promises twists that could redefine alliances and unearth graves long forgotten. In wrapping up these explosive insights, remember that General Hospital masterfully weaves suspense with character depth, keeping us hooked on every revelation. Tune in daily to see if Dalton's betrayal leads to tragedy, and how the ripples affect the Falconeri and Scorpio Drake families. What do you think? Will Sidwell strike first, or can Britt navigate this minefield unscathed? Next, we will dive deep into the swirling rumors that District Attorney Turner could be covertly aligned with the enigmatic Sidwell in a plot to dismantle Sonny Corinthos' empire. In the ever-twisting world of Port Charles, where alliances shift like shadows at dusk, Turner's arrival has ignited a firestorm of intrigue among dedicated viewers. She burst onto the scene right as Sidwell's shadowy operations zeroed in on Sonny, the city's most notorious kingpin, suggesting a meticulously orchestrated convergence of forces. Turner's polished demeanor and sharp legal acumen mask a deeper agenda, one that echoes the manipulative tactics employed by Sonny's former flames like Carly and Olivia, but with a colder, more calculated edge honed in the cutthroat halls of justice. Imagine her not merely as a lone prosecutor chasing headlines, but as a pawn or perhaps a queen in Sidwell's grand chess game, deployed to erode Sonny's defenses from within. Her interactions with him brim with flirtatious tension, late-night strategy sessions disguised as casual encounters at the Floating Rib, where she probes his vulnerabilities under the guise of shared whiskey and whispered secrets. This isn't just ambition, it's a symphony of deception, where every smile hides a subpoena and every touch conceals a wiretap approval. Fans have long noted how Turner's history includes a stint in a high-profile corruption case in upstate New York, where she allegedly turned a blind eye to influential backers. Could Sidwell be one such shadowy benefactor, pulling strings from afar to ensure her promotion to Port Charles? Delving further into Turner's psyche, her obsession with Sonny transcends professional rivalry. It's almost personal, a vendetta wrapped in seduction that mirrors the dramatic entanglements that have defined his romantic entanglements over the years. Picture her poring over old case files late into the night, not just for evidence against him, but to understand the man who has evaded the law time and again. Much like a detective captivated by her quarry, Sidwell's entry into the fray, with his international connections and veiled threats against Sonny's family holdings, aligns too perfectly with Turner's aggressive pursuit. Perhaps she was handpicked during a clandestine meeting in a dimly lit Manhattan office, promised resources and immunity in exchange for her loyalty. This theory gains traction when considering Sidwell's modus operandi. He thrives on proxies, using intermediaries to insulate himself from direct fallout. And Turner fits the bill with her unblemished record and insider access to the district attorney's office. Her recent moves, such as delaying Sonny's arraignment on racketeering charges while feeding him just enough intel to keep him off balance, scream of a double agent playbook, blending genuine attraction with lethal intent. What if her distraction extends to planting subtle doubts in Sonny's mind about his closest allies, like Jason or Dante, sowing discord that weakens his network from the inside out? Such layers add a thrilling dimension to her character, transforming her from a standard antagonist into a multifaceted enigma whose true allegiances could shatter the fragile peace in Port Charles. The speculation reaches fever pitch when examining the timeline of these converging storylines, a hallmark of General Hospital's masterful weaving of plots that keeps audiences glued to their screens. Sidwell slithered into Port Charles in early November 2024, his arrival marked by a flurry of anonymous tips leading to raids on Sonny's coffee warehouses, hinting at a vendetta rooted in old mob rivalries from Sonny's Philadelphia days. Mere weeks later, Turner, introduced as Assistant District Attorney Justine in the heated Christina versus Ava Jerome custody battle, stepped into the spotlight, her cross-examinations cutting like a knife through the emotional chaos of that trial. That case, which dragged on with revelations of hidden affairs and manipulated evidence, feels like ancient history now, buried under layers of subsequent drama. Yet it served as the perfect cover for Turner's integration into the local power structure. Sidwell's arc, meanwhile, has simmered in the background, with cryptic phone calls and offshore accounts that barely scratch the surface of his threat level, building anticipation for an explosive payoff. In this fictional tapestry, where time bends to the writer's will, the proximity of their debuts isn't coincidence, it's narrative dynamite. Envision Sidwell scouting talent from afar, perhaps through a mutual contact in the legal underworld, positioning Turner as the ideal operative, close enough to Sonny for intimacy, authoritative enough to strike legally. This setup not only amplifies the suspense, but invites deeper exploration of themes like betrayal and redemption, as Sonny grapples with yet another woman who blurs the line between love and law. Of course, the heartbeat of General Hospital lies in its passionate fanbase, whose online forums and social media threads buzz with theories that often foreshadow the show's boldest twists. On platforms like X and Reddit, viewers have dissected every glance and dialogue snippet, with one eagle-eyed fan posting, "Turner's vibe screams set up from the start. Sidwell's timing was no accident, and her Sonny fixation feels scripted by a mastermind." Another enthusiast chimed in with enthusiasm, "This alliance would crank the drama to 11, even if her backstory predates Sidwell by a season. Retrofitting it could birth an epic slow burn conspiracy." Echoing the sentiment, a longtime watcher noted, "From Sidwell's November drop to Turner's Ada debut in Christina's Mess, it's all to since Port Charles timelines are wild. But this screams coordinated takedown." These discussions extend to fan podcasts, where hosts speculate on potential fallout. What if Turner's involvement unravels, forcing her to choose between Sidwell's promises and a genuine spark with Sonny? Or imagine a whistleblower scene, with evidence of their pact surfacing during a stormy night at the Quartermain Mansion, pulling in unexpected players like Laura Spencer or Martin Gray. Such fan fervor underscores the show's enduring appeal, turning passive viewing into an interactive saga where community insights often mirror the writer's intentions. Looking ahead, the implications of a Turner-Sidwell partnership ripple across Port Charles like aftershocks from a mob hit. Sonny's empire, already strained by internal family strife and external pressures from Valentine Casadin's schemes, could crumble under this dual assault, leading to high-stakes chases through the docks or tense standoffs in hidden safe houses. Turner might escalate her mind games by leaking false leads to the press, painting Sonny as a relic in a changing criminal landscape, while Sidwell consolidates power through legitimate fronts like real estate ventures masking illicit trades. Yet, in true soap fashion, cracks could appear, perhaps a moment of conscience for Turner during a vulnerable confession to Sonny, or Sidwell's overreach exposing their link via hacked email trail. This evolving narrative promises crossovers with other arcs, such as the ongoing mystery surrounding Drew Kane's military past or Willow's health battles. Intertwining personal stakes with the larger conspiracy, viewers can expect cliffhangers galore, a surprise witness in court, a midnight rendezvous gone wrong, or Sonny piecing together the puzzle with help from an unlikely ally like Ava herself. The beauty of Port Charles is its unpredictability. Secrets buried for years can erupt in an instant, reshaping alliances and destinies overnight. As the layers peel back on this potential collusion, one thing remains crystal clear. General Hospital continues to deliver edge-of-your-seat storytelling that blurs the lines between foe and fascination. D.A. Turner's enigmatic role, potentially puppeteered by Sidwell, elevates the stakes for Sonny and beyond, promising betrayals that will leave jaws on the floor. From her seductive ploys to the fan theories lighting up the internet, this storyline embodies the soap's timeless allure of romance laced with danger. Stay locked in each weekday as the drama unfolds. Who knows what shocking revelation awaits in the next episode? Don't miss a beat on the ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel for all the latest breakdowns and predictions.